Welcome back to Living to 120 Beyond. I'm Jeff Harrison, your host, along with
Dr. Edmund Chein.
Dr. Chein. In the last episode, we talked about this whole thing about people wanting to live longer and, shockingly enough, people not wanting to live longer. We talked about the word function. But I know in your industry it's called anti-aging medicine, but I know you don't really care for that slogan. What would you like your specialty to be called?
I like my specialty to be called longevity medicine. Longevity is the goal, and medicine is a science that tell us how to get there with the functionality in brain and body.
Okay.
So I like that term a lot better than anti-aging, because I like to be old. In fact, I like aging, because think of what the world has to offer me now. I have an iPhone.
Yeah.
I didn't have that when I was 20. From the iPhone, it can tell me where to go, how to go there. It can tell me if I want the best restaurant nearby, the best nightclub nearby. It can tell me all those things. In fact, I, as a doctor, periodically go to my iPhone for a drug that a Chinese patient, an Indian patient is on that I don't know. They tell me the name, English name. I don't know what it is because it's a foreign brand.
Right.
I go on Google. In 1 minute, I know exactly what that drug is. I don't have, in the old days, I don't know what I have to go to.
Yeah.
And I use that all the time to find out things in 1 minute. I love this time, 2016. I don't want to live the year I was 20.
So because of the fact you're saying, okay, it's okay to get older or to age, but not to necessarily get older.
Yeah.
Because we talked about in the last session, we didn't catch it, you want to go back and look at that, we talked about old was the fear of losing your functions.
Yeah.
And so you're saying, hey, I don't care if I'm 80 or 90, if I haven't lost my functions, I have gotten
better.
I'm aged, but I'm not old.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Or if I'm old, it's good. Good to be old if I haven't lost my functions.
Yeah.
I like to be old.
Not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing at all.
Now, as people get older, though, there's this new method or a word coming. Hey, we become kind of fragile. I remember one time I was playing golf for a living at the time, and I flew back home and I saw my mom. I hadn't seen her in probably 6 or 8 months, and I gave her a hug, and she said, "Oh, be very careful." She said, "I broke a rib." I'm like, "How'd you break a rib?" I thought, "Did you fall?" She says, "From coughing." She had osteoporosis, so she became fragile. Can you talk to us about this whole fragility thing and what that really means?
Yes. When we talk about aging, we must talk about fragility, because it's just the opposite of functionality. Okay, and the best thing, I want to give 3 examples. The first example is using me. Okay, if you put me today, I'm totally healthy. Put me in a hospital bed for 3 weeks. Just say stay there for 3 weeks, and we'll have nurse come to serve you food and all that.
But you're bedridden.
Bedridden.
Okay.
Can't come. The only thing you can go to is the bathroom.
Okay.
Okay. In 3 weeks, I would have lost muscles, and in 3 weeks, I'll have some osteoporosis. And in 3 weeks, I probably, when I stand up to go to my bathroom, I'll be wobbling. I'll lose my balance. A lot of my balances and gait. Okay, just in 3 weeks.
Wow.
Now, if I have an identical twin.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you're saying, and we took you as that example, and we put you in that bed as a healthy individual.
As a healthy
You weren't
individual.
even going there because you were sick.
No.
Wow. Okay.
Totally healthy.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So I just had to clarify that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Now, take that discharged Edmund Chein. The Edmund Chein discharged yesterday after 3 weeks on a hospital bed. Compared to this Edmund Chein. That's an old Edmund Chein. Even though genetically identical. And he had no problem. I had no problem. He has no problem. I have no problem today.
Right.
But that difference is fragility that we can avoid by not going to. I could have avoided it by not going to stay on bedridden for 3 weeks. And that is what I want to impart to my audience. You have a choice. You can do it. You don't have to accept what nature, which is the other image I went through, had to do to you. Another example would be pneumonia. we at the age of, say, 50s, if we get a pneumonia, our friends, relatives will say, oh, he'll be okay. They won't call you even.
Right.
So, oh, yeah, I heard you have a pneumonia. They won't even call you. So he'll be fine. But if we were 80, we had a pneumonia, we'll get some calls from our relatives and friends.
Yeah.
Hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
Because they expect you may not make it.
From the same thing as a 50-year-old.
It's the same as a 50-year-old. And that is fragility.
Ah, okay.
And then there are 80-year-olds who get a pneumonia and come out of it. Why do you die from pneumonia and the other guy didn't die? Fragility.
Interesting.
Functionality in the body's function, organ function. Another example would be fall. A slip and fall.
Yeah.
We hear that all the time. You and I fell last week on a curbside. Like, everybody was worried around me, and I got up and I tore my pants. But I went on. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
I just scratched and bled inside. Nothing happened to me. Now, if you hear somebody 80 slip and fall, probably a fracture.
Yeah.
Probably a fracture from osteoporosis. And probably it's the hip. Probably he's going to go to the hospital, stay in the hospital. And from then on, he will never regain his normal activity, daily activity again, ever. He will never live the same. Whether they operated on him, not operated on him, gave him a cane, gave him a walker, it doesn't matter. He will never live the same lifestyle again, ever.
Because he now has some fragility and lost functionality.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Given that another 60-year-old who hasn't lost function, perhaps Jack LaLanne, slip and fall on him, throw that on, he would be fine. He got up, he would move on, except he'll die of a flu the next week, but he got up from the fall, okay.
Right.
You understand me?
That makes total sense.
Yes, and that is the fragility that we can avoid.
Well, let's talk about that. How can fragility in aging, how can we prevent that?
Very easily. We can prevent that by 3 simple things. Nutrition, hormones, replace your hormones, and exercise. And that concept has recently be supported by a very respected scientist, Dr. Cynthia Kenyon. She is a discoverer of the longevity gene, DEF2 gene. Okay, she discovered that this gene in all kinds of animals. Originally, it was in the seagull, or not all seagulls live to 100. Those who have DEF gene live to be 100.
So just because I was a seagull, I didn't necessarily get that gene.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Only if you're a lucky seagull.
Aha.
You got a DEF gene, you live to 100.
Okay.
Not all sea turtles live to 100. Only the lucky sea turtle gets to live at 100 that have the DEF gene. And she found those DEF genes in mammals, in men too. Jewish, there's a group of Jews in sometimes you go to Bible again, Jews are the blessed race of God.
Wow.
I mean, the chosen people. Man, like it or not, this is a proof. So that's the way I look at it.
So they have that gene.
They have that gene. Ashkenazi Jews have that gene. And they live to 90, 100 easily. We don't have that gene,
Interesting.
Yeah. And Dr. Kenyon says, what does that gene do? A dumb thing. Let the hormones in. These animals, these people, their hormones get into their cells easier than your hormones and my hormones. It's like nature puts on this gate by birth. The hormones are not going to get in there because we want them to die.
Interesting.
God or Buddha or Allah want us to die. We have to, go by generations. There has to be turnover in human race. Okay?
Right.
So that mechanism is built in there. But those lucky ones, be it animal or human beings, have that gene. The hormones get into the cells and the nucleus a lot easier.
Wow.
Now, I don't have to be a smart scientist to suddenly click, hey, there's an easier way. just supplement my hormones, bioidentical. They'll go into my cells and nucleus, just like if I have that DEF2 gene.
Just like the gate was open.
Yeah, I don't have to say,
Okay.
oh, I want to be, wish I'm a Jew now. I don't have to do that.
Or seagull.
Or seagull, or turtle, you know? All I have to do is supplement my hormones to the 20-year-old level, bioidentical. And I'm just as lucky.
And that was proven by this doctor in her research.
Dr. Cynthia Canyon, yes.
Which quite frankly, you've proven that since what, 1999?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's a little different to see it from a different angle. I did it through, you know, studies measuring functions and then all that stuff, and take years, and you have to be statistically significant. 200 was not enough for me. 20 years ago, 200 people laughed at me. So 200 people reverse their biological age and reverse their functions. So what? It's only 200.
So you put...
Yeah, I did that. I did my study published in when I cooperated with Medical College of Wisconsin. They wanted 1,000, Dr. Chein. If you can't come with that number, don't talk to us.
So you did that.
I did that.
Yeah.
1,000 people. I had to go through that. When I go through the traditional way, I have to go through 1,000 people to prove that, supplementing hormones to the optimum level is reverses age, extends health span. In fact, the U.S. government gave me a patent for that. Okay. Because I showed them enough data that the patent office says, okay, we got to give you that. Nobody ever thought of that. Nobody ever dreamed it before. Nobody can claim it again. You, Edmund Chein, got it. You discovered it. Okay, just like Dr. Cynthia Canyon. Nobody can ever say, I discovered the DEF2 gene. No, BS, you're a liar.
Yeah.
Here's the patent, she discovered it. Okay, so I was the discoverer of hormones able to maintain health span, extend health span, and reverse biological age. That was the hard way. Now she comes out the other way, the flip side. Okay, she discovered the gene first. And what does the gene do? Well, she also worked on it, and it turns out the gene works on hormonal mechanism.
Wow.
And that confirms, when the truth is there, it matches.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, no matter which side you start from. You can start from the gene side, you can start from the experimental side. They meet, they concur.
Yeah.
So that's the truth.
Both sciences just say, hey, what you did, she proves it. What she did, you prove it.
Exactly. We
That is the
supported
answer.
each other.
So when you bring this back, you say, okay, there's those three things that must happen: nutrition,
Yes.
exercise.
Yes.
But if you miss this third one,
Nutrient.
which is the supplemental, right?
Yeah. And yeah.
Then you miss that.
Yeah. You miss the whole thing.
Yeah.
The whole thing will not work. Will not work. In fact, I should bring this up. When I found out my DNA age to be 34 at age 61.
Wow.
When I found that out, I said, wow, let's go to my patient. I wrote every patient I had who followed me for over 10 years. I said, okay, guys, go do the telomere test. We're going to get on CNN. We as a group will get on CNN.
Right.
Because we will all be, 34 years DNA test and 61 or 65 or 70, whatever age you are, there'll be a big gap, a 30-year gap. We're going to make news. No. Came back. Some happy like me, some disappointing. Hey, Dr. Chein, I've been following you for 20 years. How come I don't have the same result? There you go. Nutrition. I didn't believe in nutrition. I only believe in hormones. You are a hormone guy. I thought if I follow you with your hormones, that's good enough. No, not. It's like car. It's like maintenance. If you want to drive your car long and drive for 400,000 miles, you better have more frequent oil changes.
Yes.
Same thing.
Rotate the tires.
Rotate the tire more often. Pay more
Brakes.
attention to
Yeah.
your car.
Yeah.
So if you're going to run your organs, to all the way to 80 to function like a 50 or 40, you better pay a lot of nutrients, oil changes, if I may.
Yeah.
To help your organs do that. more so than everybody else who don't want to do that.
Yeah, and I think that's...
So my patients came out with different kinds of numbers, some very disappointing, only 5 years, 7 years, younger DNA-wise than their birth certificate. And that's when I found, oh my God, I didn't know nutrients were so important. See, nutrients are very important.
So let's bring this back full circle now. We're talking about today about fragility.
Yes.
And what that really means, and that's loss of functionality. Like you said, it's the opposite of functionality.
Correct.
And that's that one thing in that, I'm going to say, in that larger group. And I'm not going to discount the group that says, hey, the 20 to 30% said, hey, I want to live to 120. Do you think in there, and I know you're just speculating, but maybe not, that they're saying, hey, when they raise their hand, like I did, I said, hey, I want to live to 120.
Yes.
I never even thought that I wouldn't live to 120 and not function at the very best I could. So I already kind of played that out of my head, right?
Yeah.
But the vast majority said, no, I want to die on the levels that CDC says. It says, hey, maturity, men X, women X, because of loss of functionality.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
So now it's very, very clear. You have to have those 3 legs in that. Right?
Exactly.
You can't just do one. Like the guys I see and the gals that just go to the gym.
Yes.
And then they eat improperly. They say, well, I've gone to the gym, so I can go ahead and have those.
No.
Whatever that is. It's not good for you.
No. In fact, when those that go to the gym, I better clarify that. It better be resistance exercise, not aerobic. When you go to a gym, you see a lot of people doing treadmill. What is that? Aerobic. It makes you age faster. In fact, in my research for athletes.
Wait a second, what is that?
Age.
I just heard the treadmill industry try to just sell fewer treadmills.
Yes.
That's what
my research. I don't know about others. Okay, the whole world's research. All scientists agree. Resistance exercise helps all the things we talk about, but aerobic exercises does not. That's kind of them. I think damages us, contrary to what we do. Because I found my research of all the runners in the world. You would imagine the African runners and the marathon runners and all these runners, they are thin, fit.
Right.
They've been doing it 20, 30 years. They would be living to 80, 90, perhaps 100.
Yeah.
None, zero lives to 60, past 60. If you, the audience, can find a runner who lives beyond 60, give me the name. I want to check on her biography. None, zero. Because of the oxygenation, because when they run, they increase their oxidation a lot more than average people.
Okay.
So they oxidize themselves to death.
Interesting.
Earlier death than you and me. So I wouldn't do treadmill.
Yeah.
I would not run at all. And I go to the gym, I see these people running.
Yeah.
I say, oh God.
I don't even get on the treadmill.
Yeah.
Thank goodness, I don't.
Resistance.
Yeah.
And people say, but I have people say, I don't have the money to go to the gym. Easy. Your body's body weight. Use your body weight. Push-ups.
Squats.
Sit-ups. Get a 5-pound dumbbell. Just move around a little bit.
Maybe a Clorox bottle.
Yeah. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do. Very minimum. 5 minutes. 3 times a week. That's all you need to do.
So it doesn't have to be heavy duty
No.
stuff. It's just mixing those 3 together. That's
Right.
a magical elixir, if you will.
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, it's a great journey you're taking us on today, because it's all about that, again, overcoming that fear of living longer. Because that fear, as you said in our last program, was the fear of dementia or not being able to take care of ourselves. And you're saying, hey, if we're aware of these things of the nutrients and the exercise and the supplements, the hormone supplements, we can live longer. And aging is not a bad thing when you retain you retain your functionality.
Exactly.
Well, this is amazing, and I know we're going to talk some more in our next program about this even deeper. Any last thoughts about the functionality, specifically about fragility? Because we talked a little bit about really can that fragility and aging be prevented? And you said yes, it can be. And I think you mentioned the 3 things, and I'll say it one more time: the nutrients,
Yes.
right? The exercise,
Yes.
anaerobic, not aerobic. Okay, anaerobic is
Correct, resistance, yes,
okay,
yes.
and then hormones.
Hormones, very, very important.
Wow.
Yes.
So check it out. Are you doing those three things? And if you're missing one, it's almost like having a car with three wheels on it.
Yes.
It's going to be a little tough. Going to be
Yes.
a rough ride. Probably not going to
Yeah.
last as long.
Yes, when a patient comes to me, and whatever age it is doctor, I have diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol. I'm on all these drugs, and I don't know why. I say, sir, I tell you why. Over the last 30 years, not over the last year or 10, 30, you have been neglecting your nutrition. You have had a poor lifestyle, and you did not check your hormones. You did not check your hormones, and they've been bad to the point where all your organs now fail.
Yeah.
That's what I tell them. And I tell them, you can reverse. There's a chance for you to go back. And you can reverse that.
Yeah.
You can reverse that by doing these three things. Check your hormones, supplement your hormones at 20-year level, supplement your nutritions.
Even though they've kind of abused that nutrition or the exercise for the last 30 years.
Yes, even you can catch up. You can.
That's encouraging. It's
Yes.
not the end of the road.
Yes. Yesterday I talked to a patient of mine. He said he is willing to go to ICCM conference. It's a conference of pastors, 900 pastors, in August 2nd. And he's a pastor. He came to see me last year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 70. He was totally out of shape. Cholesterol sky high, everything. He was having dementia, a little bit senility. His wife said, and he knows that too. So he thought he was hopeless. 70, you would imagine hopeless. Okay,
Wow.
He was on drugs of cholesterol and blood pressure and everything. I said, no, it's not too late. He said, not too late at 70? I said, no, not too late at 70. It's okay, I trust you. I trust you. I'll do what you tell me. Did I give him drugs? No. I said, slowly we'll wean you off all your drugs. I didn't know until yesterday when I called him to confirm. I said, I'm going to talk about you this coming August. Will you be willing to let me talk about it? And will you be willing to, there are two things. One, I talk about it without mentioning your name. And two, if you're willing, better to stand up and say, I am that person, Dr. Chein.
Yeah.
I said, it'd be wonderful if I'm asking you on my phone. Stop, I'll stand up anytime. And I'll tell them. He said, I'll tell them that my cholesterol is totally in the middle.
Wow.
And my doctor doesn't even understand what I did.
Wow. So it doesn't have to be complicated.
It's not complicated.
Yeah.
You can do it to a 70-year-old. And I said, what are you doing every day now? I go to the gym and I exercise in the gym.
So he's regained his function.
All of it. He's tickled to death.
Wow.
At 70, he's tickled to death.
Now, speaking of function, as we wrap up here today, I don't want to forget this. Is if I wanted to come and have my functionality tested, because it would expose how fragile I am.
Exactly.
Right? Okay, so if I want to come in and have my functionality test done, you offer that here, don't you?
Free.
Tell us about that.
The test takes about 40 minutes, and it tests your visual reaction time, which changes with age, auditory reaction time, which changes every test, every function that it tests declines with age. That's why it's a functionality test for aging. Memory, it gives you numbers going forward and it wants you to reverse. Okay, average people 12 numbers minimum. If you can reverse 12 numbers, your brain is aging.
Wow.
Okay, and then they'll test your vision, acuity, and your pulmonary function. We all know that pulmonary function is a biological measure of aging. Your mom's emphysema.
Right.
Okay, even though she is not old, her lung is gone. Her lungs are gone. She's old.
Yeah.
So pulmonary function and cardiac function. All of these data compiled compared to their database of 1,000 Americans of the similar age as yours, and gives you your reading as compared to the Americans. So where do you stand? Do you stand what's your biological age by function.
So
That's
if I do this test, and let's say I come in and I do the test, and let's say I'm 50, but it shows I'm 60.
you have to do something.
You can help me like you
Absolutely.
did with the pastor that you
Absolutely.
worked with. Okay.
You can say, I don't want to do anything. I just want to exercise. Good. Do the resistance. I don't want to do anything. I just want to do resistance, exercise, and nutrition. I don't believe in hormones. Fine. I tell you what nutrition is one only.
Okay.
I'll do it your way. If you believe in, okay, I want to do the whole caboodle. Good. Okay. Then hormones, nutrition, and exercise.
Yeah.
You see.
Yeah.
And I even have patients who, yesterday, husband and wife from Thailand referred to me from my U.S. patient, and they're on business, and the U.S. patient was raving about me as a doctor, and they said, you got to see him. So the husband and my wife came in. The wife says, when it came to the growth hormone, I'll do growth hormone. And I was like, no way. I'm not going to shoot anything into my body twice a day. I'm not going to do that. I won't do it. Just husband and wife, both from Thailand, different, totally different. One willing to do the growth hormone, one not willing. I said, fine, you don't want to, that's all. But you do the other hormones, the other hormones are considered.
Interesting.
You see, so I'll do it your way. You just have to know what is necessary to maintain health span and maintain your functionality, brain-wise and physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all they have to do now, all you have to do is, there's a number on the screen, I believe it's 877-230-2144, I believe is the number.
Yes.
It's on the screen. All they have to do is call that number and set an appointment.
Yes.
They can't just walk in, because you're doing this all day with them.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then you'll give them the readout, and then if they want more information, there's someone there, you're there, or someone's there to answer their questions.
Yes.
Yeah, and it is, I've done this before, and this is an extensive program, and it is very eye-opening.
Yes.
Because it is an extensive program, but it is well worth the effort.
And it can be at any expense level you want to deal with it. If you only want to do exercise, it's free.
Yeah.
Do it on your own, at home in the office. You want nutrients? Minimum. I mean, how much can nutrients cost a month?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Oh, you want to do hormones? All the hormones except growth hormone. That's not very expensive. A couple $100 a month. And when a growth hormone, the expensive one, I'll do that too for you. So it's scaled. Whatever they are willing to put forth for their functionality in brain and body.
Yeah. So if you're feeling some of that fragility, if you will, whether it's loss of balance, concern about falling down, maybe you're forgetting your phone numbers easily, those kind of things that are telltale signs, I would recommend starting out with that.
Yes.
Call the number on there, make an appointment, come in and start with that functionality test. And in that, you might discover through conversations with Dr. Chein or his staff that you're missing 2 or 3 of those components that, you just, no matter what you do, you're behind the 8 ball, but it can be turned around.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Dr. Chein, as always, thank you so much. You are just a wealth of knowledge, and just this information about talking about, hey, why wouldn't everybody want to live to 120? And realizing because of that, the uncovered, it's kind of that we used to say the elephant on the couch, right? That nobody wants to talk about is because I don't want somebody else having to take care of me as I get older.
Exactly.
So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Jeff Harrison on Living to 120 and Beyond. We look forward to seeing you again. I'm here with
Dr. Edmund Chein.
We'll see you next time.